Instagram is telling all of our fabulous followers that we're live. It's 7 o'clock, the time we've been waiting for actually. So it's really good to be here. Another Thursday on PR and More, and I'm so excited. I'm going to wait for more people to join us. So in the meantime, just hang around. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll wait for a few more people. Today's conversation is going to be absolutely amazing with Kemi Olawoye.
Hello, Kemi. Good evening. How are you?
I hope you can hear me very well.
Yes.
My apologies. I was in traffic and I had to just stop somewhere because I already committed to this.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it. All right, we can see that Kemi's clan are joining. So welcome, everyone. This is Nigerian Women in PR and More, IG Live series. And of course, Kemi Olawoye is our guest today. And it is so good to finally meet you. I'm sort of one of your quiet stalkers. So it is really good to be here with you today. And she's so accomplished, everyone. So it is good to have you here. Thank you once again, everyone. So let me read her bio real quickly. Her profile is one that can be a little intimidating, but hey, she's put in the work and she really deserves her flowers. So thank you so much. All right, so Kemi Olawoye. Okay, I've got something. All right, so Kemi Olawoye is a founder and CEO of BabyMIGO, Nigeria's largest pregnancy and parenting community. BabyMIGO actually provides experts verified health information, education, resources, and concierge services relating to pregnancy, parenting, childbirth, and reproductive health by SMS, mobile app, and web at scale. Since inception, BabyMIGO has provided answers to more than 100,000 questions asked by vulnerable women from more than 200 locations across Nigeria and reach more than 200,000 users. BabyMIGO has been featured on Yahoo, Forbes, and Time magazine and is backed by Facebook and Google. As a communications and public relations expert, Kemi is the Chief Communications Officer of Bora Communications, a fast-growing public relations company based in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, Kemi has helped over 100 international and local organizations across diverse sectors plan, launch, and execute successful media campaigns that impacted millions of individuals. Now, I could go on and on. Kemi is also a recipient of several awards and recognitions, including the 2020 AXA 50 in Tech Female Entrepreneur. It is good to have you once again, Kemi Olawoye. Finally, having this chat with you is a real privilege for me. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so you do so many things. I know that you studied physiotherapy at the University of Lagos, and at some point you had a broadcasting stint as well at Silverbird. I think, was it Rhythm FM or Silverbird TV? Both. Okay, and then of course you started your own PR firm and launched BabyMIGO. Whilst you were younger, did you ever get confused about what you wanted to do in life?
Well, I'd say yes and no. I'd say yes because, like, you know, as a young lady, you want to be different things at different times. So maybe you feel like people that inspire you, and you're thinking to yourself, "Well, I want to be like this person," you know. And then I would say no because I've just always known the things that I like. And I've always felt like I would always tilt towards that side. So even when I felt like I was doing, even when I was in school and I was practicing physiotherapy, I always felt like I wasn't going to practice clinical physiotherapy, that I was always going to, you know, either do something in media or business. You know, I was just always clear on my areas of strength. Yeah, so I'll say yes and no.
All right, so when did you reckon you found purpose? For example, like you said, you do so many things. At what point did you realize, you know what, I'm just going to do this? Which is where a lot of people consider finding purpose.
Well, I'm a strong believer that purpose is a journey. And I feel like with purpose, we should never really box ourselves into one thing. So there's usually like this ideology that, oh, you have to be, I don't know, maybe you have to be, maybe possibly for me, I have to just be the co-founder of BabyMIGO. I really don't believe that. I feel like our life is a journey and life is in phases, and we can be, we're giving assignments and we should do something part-time. And it's okay for us to evolve beyond those things. I think that one of the biggest challenges that people face is really not recognizing when, you know, it's okay to move on to something else, or it's okay to add something else, or it's okay to, I don't know, really, you don't have to, it's a journey, but at the same time, really be that person striving to be the best at what you do. So for me personally, at this point, my two key things are BabyMIGO and Bora, and really what I'm focusing on is how we can be the best in our industry. So that's really just my personal thoughts. But I don't think everyone might be, but that's just my personal thoughts.
Right, all right, those are your babies. Just for those who are just joining us, this is PRandMore by Nigerian Men in PR. So welcome you for all the women who are joining us who are in the professional field. This is Nigerian Men in PR, and of course, Kemi Olawoye is our guest, and we're talking about how to know when to quit your 9-to-5 for your side hustle. And this is a conversation that a lot of people, are having, and we continue to have, because people still find that they're on the verge. Oftentimes, it's hard to jump. It's like you have to take that leap, and it's really difficult. So we're going to take time for questions later on, but please feel free, sit tight. This is going to be an interesting conversation. If you want to be a part of Nigerian Men in PR, if you go to our bio real quickly, with the link there, you can join Nigerian Men in PR as a member. There's so many benefits to joining us, and we would love to have you. All right, so Kemi, a lot of motivational speakers say that working a 9-to-5 is building someone else's dream while they pay you to forget yours. Would you subscribe to that?
No, I won't. No, absolutely not. Some of the biggest and the best CEOs across the world are those who have, possibly worked, with other who have possibly worked at other companies before starting their own companies. I think that working with other people is an opportunity for you to learn, it's an opportunity for you to grow, it's an opportunity for you to build yourself. I definitely don't believe. And recently, I had made a post on Instagram, on LinkedIn rather, on how that entrepreneurship is there's so much glamorization of entrepreneurship. I would feel like, it's what everyone should be doing. For me, I think that some people don't have to be entrepreneurs. If it's really pursuing the career path, please go ahead and just really do the best at it. Another thing again is that because we're over glamorizing entrepreneurship, we see like people that literally just come out of school and literally have zero skills trying to run a business. And there's so much that you need to learn as a business owner. My final thoughts on that will also be that many times it's also a vision of what you're looking at in your business. It's easier for you to run a high-level business when you have worked in a high-level company and you understand how maybe a multinational is being run, or you understand how an organization of this magnitude is done. So it's really easier, when you have worked with other people than just starting out. But different strokes for different folks. Some people will not always have it that way, right? But yeah, that's just my personal thought.
Right. And for someone who's tasted both, 9-to-5 and entrepreneurship, which would you say is easier? For example, if someone came to you and said, okay, which would you consider to be easy?
This is a tough one. I feel like I'm on the opposite. I won't be able to say, I'll just give like the pros and cons. So I'll say that for entrepreneurship, the biggest thing with entrepreneurship, the biggest pro is flexibility. The fact that you can choose to do like your work at night and do something else possibly during the day if you want to. You can take time off and you work on Sunday. I feel like that's the biggest pro with entrepreneurship. However, the biggest con with entrepreneurship is the instability and the fact that you don't have anyone guiding you and supervising you. Even if you have mentors, you possibly cannot be calling your mentors every day as you would possibly call your manager. Right, so I feel like the major pros and cons, pursuing a career path. However, the biggest pro is that the stability. The salary will always come in at the end of the month, regardless of whatever happens. And then the second pro for me is the fact that you're working under someone. To some extent, there's a leader, you're working with, either the CEO or whatever it is, that you can sort of rub minds together and all of that. And of course, the biggest con with that is that you may not have as much flexibility as you may have if you were running your business. You can't decide to not go to work today just because you don't feel like it. So I feel like these are like the two different pros and cons. So for me, I'm always an advocate of if you're building a career, strive to get to the top of the career ladder. If you're running a business, you strive to run a successful business.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Kemi, for that. I'm sure that people are learning so much. So feel free to drop any gems that you're hearing from Kemi. I'm hearing so much already. I wish I could type, but feel free to type in the comment section anything that resonates with you. anything that you find to be, oh, wow, a word, if you know what I mean, feel free to add in the comment section. And of course, give us a thumbs up if the audio is clear, video is clear, wherever it is you're watching. Let us know as well. That will also encourage us to know that at least, you're getting us. So please let us know. Let us have comments to know that the audio is clear, video is clear. We're just going to wait for you to give us thumbs up, and then I'm going to continue with my questions for Kemi Olawoye. Remember, it's Nigerian Men in PR and PRandMore IG Live series, and we're talking about 9 to 5 and your side hustle. How to know when to jump from your 9 to 5 to your side hustle. All right, so please let me know if you're listening to us and it's clear. Fantastic. Jane Uweye, thank you so much for the feedback. Really appreciate that. Let's get more people so we know you are here and present with us. Of course, if there's anything that Kemi said that resonates with you, feel free to add in the comment section. I will be taking questions at about 7:30. Okay, at 7:30 we'll be taking questions. So make sure you stay here with us and use the comment box as well. All right, Kemi. Well, how about when people say you cannot get rich doing a 9 to 5? If you want to be rich, you gotta be an entrepreneur. What do you say about that?
There is now I'm not sure, I'll say evolution of being a career professional, and that's being an entrepreneur. So there's a lot of discussions right now on how people can be an entrepreneur. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur and not an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur means that you're working a 9 to 5 in a company, but you're able to think like an entrepreneur. So if you, for example, you're working in a bank as, I don't know, working in the communications department, you can think of course how to rise to the top of the career ladder, possibly having become the COO of the bank, and beyond that, you don't really think about investing your salary. There are different ways to make money now, and you don't have to always make money by investing in, by running a business. You can decide to invest in others that are already running a business. You see, like a lot happening in the tech space, how that you can now invest in different tech companies, even from like your mobile phones and things like that. So for me, I think the focus really shouldn't exactly be about trying to whether you can get rich as a career professional or an entrepreneur. If you have decided to go the path of being a career professional, just really begin to think about being an entrepreneur and begin to like research and read and watch lots of videos to empower yourself in how to become a successful entrepreneur. Because everyone cannot run a business. It's literally impossible. And some people would have to run Facebook. I mean, we have Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook, the COO, and you should have a couple of other things that she does on the side. But Sheryl Sandberg is a typical example of a career professional who has risen to the top of the career ladder, but still thinks like an entrepreneur. So I think that's really the way to think about it.
Wow, phenomenal, Kemi. Thank you so much. I remember a time in my life when I felt like, entrepreneurship is just not for me. I could never do business. 9 to 5 until I heard about being an entrepreneur as well. That's when I realized, there's more to 9 to 5 than just come to work at 8 and leave at 5 and stuff like that. But would you say that people still? Yeah, would you say that people still say? Oh yeah, would you say that people still say I could never have a side hustle? Is that wise, especially considering our economy, the rising cost of everything? So people who don't have a side hustle, would you say that that's unwise?
No, to an extent, yes. I may say that, but I was going to say two key things. I also think that the big issue why many people say that they cannot have their own business is the
Oh, great. Okay, good to have you back. So we're talking about those who say I don't have a side hustle in the Nigeria that we're in today, the economy. Would you say that's unwise?
I'm going to touch on that quickly. I'm going to touch on that shortly, but let me quickly speak on people saying that they cannot be an entrepreneur. I think that the genesis of people saying that, I can never be an entrepreneur is really people thinking to themselves that they're either afraid to sell or they believe that they are unable to sell. It's important for me to mention that in this century that we are in, and in 2021, selling is one of the biggest skills that you must have. It's no longer a nice to have, but it's really a must have. And it's not just about selling your services or selling a business or selling your product. You can actually be selling yourself. But at this point that we are now, you must be selling something. Selling something can even mean selling yourself on social media, which we like to refer to as personal branding. You can be selling yourself in your organization as a career professional, selling yourself in order to position yourself, in front of your bosses and in front of the board members and all that kind of stuff, or selling your services or your products as a business. But really, at the end of the day, you must be selling something. So that's really a mindset that we must move from at this time. Let me now touch on whether it's compulsory or not to run a side hustle in Nigeria that we are. I would say that it is not compulsory to run a side hustle. However, it is compulsory to be money smart and money wise. So if you know that you cannot run a side hustle, and to be honest and to be fair, there's quite a number of people that are running really hectic jobs, people that are in high level roles, executives at different organizations, and may really be unable to run a side hustle. But I would say, and like I said earlier, that thankfully there are a lot of opportunities that you can now key into without necessarily having a side hustle or running the business. You can invest in things that brings you money every month. You can, there's like a lot of things that you can do now. Just really be money smart, be money wise, because things are getting more expensive. The prices of food stuff are getting higher. The cost is getting higher, and we're definitely spending a lot more than we used to spend before. So be money smart. You don't have to run a side hustle, but you have to be money smart in 2021.
All right, I love that. I love that. And don't forget, if there are any nuggets that hit you, please type it in the comment section. We want to know that you're following, want to know that you're getting a lot from this. Because the reason why we're doing this really is not just to come online. It's because we really want to enrich and empower and inspire our community, which is you. All right, so if you're watching, we're doing this for you so that whatever knowledge you get from here, you can use. Look at what you said about you must be able to sell yourself. I used to think that I can't sell, or I can't even sell ice to Eskimo, but I realized that everybody, well, I guess you have to work on your self-esteem to the point whereby you believe in yourself. And if you at least have some, iota of belief in yourself, then you can sell yourself, and we can't run away from that really. If you're not selling a product, you are the product. So you must sell yourself, as the product. So that's super important. So please, if there's anything that resonates with you, let us know in the comment section. We'll be taking your questions from about 7:30. But in the meantime, for those who may not know, Kemi is a founder of BabyMIGO. She studied physiotherapy at the university. She's also worked as a broadcaster. She also runs her PR agency. All right, so Kemi, at what point did you know? And like I said, I guess there's somebody out there who may be thinking, what nudge do I need to have to know that in time? What are the things I need to look out for? Boxes I need to check to know, okay, I have this thriving hustle on the side, and I have this great job, but what are the signs I need to, what were the signs for you that, okay, it's time to start Bora and of course to do BabyMIGO?
I feel there was no perfect time, honestly. I would also add that there's really no hard and fast road to it. I'll just share my own personal experience and maybe a few things I've heard from a couple of people. So for me, it was really just more about the finances. I felt like I was making times three from my side hustle already in comparison to my 9 to 5. So I felt like, what's the point? If I'm making like times 3 or even times 4 from, my side hustle, let me just focus on it and see what I can make from it. So that was my personal decision. It was easy. The second reason for me was also commute. So my 9 to 5 at the time was really very far. I was actually enjoying it because I also had a driver, but I don't know. I just felt like, just something I don't want to do again. I don't want to always be in traffic and all of that. So I thought it was time for me to focus on my side hustle. Now, for quite a number of people that I hear share their own personal experience transitioning from 9 to 5 to running their own business. Some people give reasons such as maybe family reasons. For women, women sometimes really have to having the baby,
spend more time with their children.
Yeah, so there's just really different reasons why people decide to do that. For some people, it may be just, I've been working for maybe 10 years or 7 years. I want to just take a little break to regroup. I want to take professional certifications in addition to running my side hustle. So there are really different reasons why people decide to move fully. It's also important that I mention that for you, it may actually not be, you may not need to leave at this time, to be honest. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of glamorization of entrepreneurship. personally, and when I left my, in as much as I was making times 3 to times 4 of my 9 to 5 with my side hustle, I still encountered quite a number of challenges when I decided to start running my business. And it wasn't as rosy as I believed it would be. And there were quite a lot of challenges. For example, I went ahead to get an office space. I realized there was a lot I needed to learn around leadership. There's a lot I needed to learn around management. So there's a lot of soft skills for entrepreneurs that go beyond just making money. So with side hustle, many times, all you're doing is you're making money, you're doing offering this service or this product you're selling and you're making money. But when you decide to now go full time into it and maybe have a team and the rest of it, at that time it's really beyond just selling. You're thinking of things like building structure and automating processes, managing a team, leading a team, recruiting, really strategy. There's just so much to think of, and you have to be sure that you're ready for that. But it's never really a perfect time. So yeah.
All right. So I like that. Yeah, I like that you already mentioned how, I think you said you rented out a space. Was that a mistake? And what are some of the mistakes? Perhaps you can go into detail of mistakes that you made or some people make when they make that jump. Because, for example, let's say some people don't save up enough, they don't have their accounts and stuff balanced, and you leave a thriving job for a hustle when you've not saved enough. Dangerous, like they always say. So what are some of the mistakes you made or that people make when they make that jump?
For me, I'll definitely say getting an office was oh my gosh, sorry, I guess the light will come on.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'll say that for me, definitely get an office may not have been like the best decision. I think, but at the same time, I don't really blame myself because at the time, working in a physical location was a thing. So now you can actually work remotely without anyone
from home.
Yeah,
True.
or you can tell your clients that you work from home and no one really questions you. But at that time, you really seem like the best decision because you have to work from like the office space to really be seen as serious and all of that. But I think it was somewhat of maybe it was a decision I could have handled a little bit better. Definitely, I would advise anyone who's looking to transition from 9 to 5 to a side hustle to save up a lot of money because I mean they usually say that 3 months of your current salary because things may go south and west of it. I wanted to also add, and I don't know if this is like the right platform to say that if you transition from a 9 to 5 to running a side hustle, and really things are not going as well as you think that as you would like it to go, and you're not doing too well financially, it's okay to go back to a 9 to 5. It's okay to get a contract job. I didn't do that.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I mean, that's with ourselves. Let's not make it look so glamorous. If you know that I transitioned full time, I'm at it for 6 months. It's not as exciting as I thought it would be. I'm not making enough money. I'm even possibly living hand to mouth. Especially if you have a family, it's okay to take a contract job. It's okay to take a part-time job. Thankfully now there are lots of options in terms of job opportunities. You can take a part-time job, you can take some jobs where you work some days a week, you can work remotely and all of that. So it's okay for people to do that. Don't think that entrepreneurship or running a business is a do or die affair and you have to face it. You don't have to. Like Yoruba would say,
Absolutely. So entrepreneurship is not something you go into to try and show off to people that, I'm the CEO, COO, TOO of my company. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really for you. So if you know you're not quite there yet, I love what you said about how entrepreneurship is not the land of no return. So if you know it's not working, you can always go back to a 9 to 5. People always feel like, what will people say? I'm going to look like a failure if, for example, I go back to my 9 to 5. All right. So it's not a point of no return. If you test it out and you see that you were not quite ready, you can always go back, so it's super, super important. All right, so let's know a bit more about you. I mean, I've talked generally about some of the things that will help the people here, for example. So you've talked a bit about some of the challenges, some of the mistakes you made. So what did it take? What are the qualities, for example, did it take for, like, BabyMIGO, for example, is the largest community for women. I mean, how did you come up with, what was the inspiration behind BabyMIGO for you? Was it a personal experience?
Yeah, definitely. It was a personal experience for me. I was going to add something, but I think I lost my train of thought somewhere there. But yeah, it was a personal experience for me. I worked in a hospital, in a very big private hospital in Lagos, Nigeria, and I headed the women's health clinical physiotherapy team where I sort of.
Okay, Kemi is breaking up a bit, so just gonna give her time to.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if
Okay,
anyone could hear me.
okay. All right, I think I think your network is a little unstable. So, well, for those who are just joining, thank you so much to everyone that's joined in this conversation. We're talking about when to know, how to know when to quit your 9 to 5 for your side hustle. We know a lot of people have this struggle. It feels like you're at the edge and you're afraid to jump. So how do you know when to jump? And if you've missed a lot because we're just going to the Q&A segment. But this video will be available on our YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigerian Women in PR on YouTube. Just look for Nigerian Women in PR on YouTube, and then you can see, for example, 2 weeks ago we had Liz Osho, who talked about personal branding. All right, so you can check out that video. Today we have Kemi Olawoye, who is the founder of BabyMIGO. She also runs a PR organization called Bora, and she's talking about her journey from being a 9 to 5er to running her own business. Challenges. Obviously, we know it's not easy. So you'll find this video on our YouTube channel. I will probably put about 10 minutes of it here on our Instagram page. But don't also forget, you can be a part of the community. If you want to be a part of Nigerian Women in PR, please go to the link in our bio and be a part of the community. There's so much resources that's available to you when you're a part of Nigerian Women in PR. We have events that are life-changing, basically. And of course, thankfully, we're glad for a great reputation we've built. We can recommend you, in some areas. I mean, just being a part of Nigerian Women in PR is something you can put on your CV and LinkedIn, and trust me, it will open doors for you. So use the link in bio to be a member of Nigerian Women in PR. All right, so Kemi Olawoye is back. Fantastic.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I was going to ask, I remember what I wanted to say for my next book. I was going to say that when you mentioned that many people are actually thinking to themselves that how people look at me because I am going back to hidden employment. I'm an advocate for really focus on their journey. Everyone has to really focus on their journey. And unfortunately, women are the ones who are most easily who is it useful for some people what people are doing. I'm a big advocate of really minding my business. I mind my business. I really have no time of what I'm doing. I make a decision now to evolve to something else or whatever. It's really my personal decision. I always want any explanation for that. So I think at the end of the day, you should be able to go through your journey. What is the decision at this time? Is it contribution to my business? Is it to whatever it is? But really just do it without looking at someone else. Yes, the grass always seems greener on the other side. So I wanted to say that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, for those who are asking, Kemi's handle is at Kemi_Olawoye. At Kemi_Olawoye. And of course, you're here. Our handle is at NG Women in PR. At NG Women. Actually, you can go to the top. You can drop down the tab on the top and go to our page from there where you can actually follow us. At Nigerian Women in PR on LinkedIn, at NG Women in PR on Twitter, on Instagram. So please follow all of our social media platforms, to find out more. All right. So if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box. We're talking about, for those who feel like, okay, you have a side hustle, or you're confused, you have a specific question for Kemi, please put it in the comment box, and I'm sure she'd love to answer. She's someone who's experienced, in both sides, being a 9 to 5 and then starting her own business. She has 2 businesses, by the way. In fact, I think more, because I think you won an award for Entrepreneur of the. Please tell us a bit about that. You won an award for Entrepreneur of the Year or something like that. What year was that?
Yeah, well, I don't even remember. I'm not an entrepreneur at some point. I thought it was a business woman award thing, but I run Dora and then I run the
Yes, well done, Kemi. You're doing a fab job. All right, so if you have a question, please put it in the comment section. If you have a specific question for her about your side hustle and your 9 to 5, I'm sure she would love to answer any of the questions. She's talked about some of the mistakes that she's made personally. And I think we'll always make mistakes. Don't be too hard on yourself, I guess. It's one of the takeaway from this. Don't be too hard on yourself, and don't do things for people. Don't do anything to please. Entrepreneurship is the last thing you want to do because you want to go. I keep seeing this TikTok that talks about how they said, oh, if I start my own business, I'll have more time for myself. Because if you're working in 9 to 5, you feel like, oh, I don't have time for myself. But then you now start your business and it feels like 24 hours. You actually constantly. I mean, how does that feel for you when you get home? How are you able to balance, shutting down your personal business, which is your personal baby, and just having a life outside of that, for example?
It's really tough, and you won't always do that. That's really the honest truth. Sometimes you need to achieve that you're not going to be able to discipline like a lot of work, especially if you're moving like a new phase in your business, maybe you're expanding your services, you're onboarding new clients, whatever it is. So for me, I'm just sensitive to what my times and facilities are. It's really saying that right now, with a lot of clients, I'm going to be busy, I'll have less time. So structure is always important. I like to have structure. Structure is not just business conversation. Structure is a general conversation. So structure in your personal life, structure in your home, your work, structure in your own. It's not just a woman. Structure really everywhere is really how to do things work. So if you have some major things, you need to be at structure, you have to put more time in another aspect of your life. So yeah.
Structure. That's super, super important. And I think more so for us women, because we're sometimes, that it's so hard to compartmentalize, children and everything. So structure is another takeaway. Okay, I have a question here. I'm not sure if that's a question. Dan says, one of my fears in entrepreneurship is that there seems to be no off days. How can I successfully manage it if I transition fully? I think part of it you've talked about is structure. How did she manage when transitions fully? Do you not have those days, Kemi?
Yeah, it will rely if I say that there would actually be off days, there will be off days, but I would say that people have to be very good. So, and you would also learn along the way. I'll share a story. When I left the 9 to start running my business, it was up to 2 years. I would take calls as late as 10 p.m. By 5 people starting with you, I'm just saying that they call you, can we talk like calls? And I think that clients talk to me at 2 a.m. at night. Right. So I just got to explain, you know what, I'm not this point any longer. I want to have a balanced life. I don't feel like this is where I am at right now. And I also hired someone now to like I'm doing and all that kind of stuff. And I put it on something. We really work 9 to 5. We really need to have an urgent conversation. It must be urgent, and I will not be available all the time. So some you learn and you start, and then part of it you have to deliver and say, I want to spend time with my family. And that's really bad for that. To send me a message, I will not be able to answer you. You need to also encourage clients. I feel like videos on running a service-based business. Nigerian clients are very interesting, and this is something I've learned. I the person I've learned from clients working with me. When I work with other service-based businesses, I try to ensure that I treat anybody as well. You see, Nigerian clients are very funny. There are those that have better words. Are not really, they don't have manners. The better words. They have to talk to you and all of that. So you have to be structured, and you have to be firm. You say that won't work for me. This is how I work. I'm passionate about your business. I'm passionate about delivering services. I want us to achieve results, and I want to see KPIs and all of that. But this is really what is best for me. So yeah, the job is for me. I have to manage these boundaries.
You have to put boundaries in your else. Nigerians ask you for the price of something. So you are the one have to be the one to create your boundaries if you're going to go into a 9 to 5. I mean, and perhaps it's my final question because it's something a lot of people don't consider when it comes to yes, which is the nitty-gritty like taxing and stuff. Are those things you need to have perfected before when in taxes, what's it called? Even having like a company name and all of those things. Those are things that people need to consider.
I feel that people need to consider that, but 70% of Nigerian women are able to that personally, that was something. Okay, I had a bit of an understanding of how we work because when I was working in my 9 to 5, I had cases where my colleagues would go on leave, and I would actually manage like the financial aspect of things, fires and all that kind of stuff. So I have an idea of how it works. But I don't think it's something that you have to, that's why they're experts in different fields. You can always, outsource, you can work with people, you can research, you can outsourcing or working with people doesn't always have to be fully outsourcing. I always explain to people that, getting professional help and advice, it always has to be that getting professional advice can be as simple as having a quick consultation with a friend who's an accountant or a tax consultant, or a chat. You don't always have to read it. Yeah, so just have to.
I know Kemi needs to run, so I'm going to just let her run. Thank you so much, because she had to actually stop off on her way home in order to do this live. So thank you. We really appreciate that, Kemi, for honoring our invitation. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you run because I know you have to go home. So thank you and enjoy the. Thank you so much. All right, so thank you for tuning in. Okay, we're here for tuning in. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. Kemi Olawoye is a phenomenal businesswoman, and obviously, it's important to give people their flowers while they're here. And that was an amazing conversation. Like I said, but if you missed the beginning, she actually dropped quite a few gems that you need to know, especially if you're in the transition of, from 9 to 5 to business. We're going to put this on our YouTube channel. So look for us at Nigerian Women in PR on YouTube. Our channel is Nigerian Women in PR on YouTube. So please go and subscribe. Subscribe real quickly. And of course, watch the whole video. Thankfully, it's not so long. I'm wrapping up right now. I want to say thank you once again to everybody, the whole team, Nigerian Women in PR team, that have been working behind the scenes as well to ensure that this has been a successful PRandMore session. So next time we'll be back in 2 weeks. So we'll be back with another phenomenal guest. So make sure to join us then. Do follow us at at NG Women in PR on Instagram, on Twitter, and Nigerian Women in PR on LinkedIn. Follow us every day where we have content that really can help you in your career and help you personally as well. I have been your host. My name is Ronke Giwa on Nafuwa. And next time we'll be back on PRandMore, an initiative of Nigerian Women in PR. Thank you to everyone. Goodbye and enjoy the rest of your evening. God bless.